Friends, if you are interested in starting your own podcast, Anchor is the easiest and best way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer at any time. Anchor creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. They will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast without no minimum listenership. Download the Anchor app now or go to anchor.fm to get started. I'll meet you at the top. Take care. Welcome, Ravens fans and supporters, to the brand new unscripted Ravens Talk, a fan podcast. My name is Be More Buck Edits, and I'm your host for this fan-amazing podcast. This show talks about all subjects related to the best organization in the world, the Baltimore Ravens and its diehard fans. My podcast episodes will be published and distributed weekly. Please feel free to like, share, comment, leave a voicemail, and subscribe to this amazing channel at any time. This blog and podcast are my own opinions and do not represent the views or opinions of the Baltimore Ravens or the National Football League. We are doing our best to prepare the contents of this podcast. However, Be More Buck Edits cannot warranty the expressions and suggestions of the contents, as well as its accuracy. In addition, to the extent permitted by law, Be More Buck Edits shall not be responsible for any losses or damages due to the usage of the information in our podcast. Hey, before I get started, y'all, I want to send a shout out to my Raven groups and fans, all right? To all my Raven groups, I got a lot of them. My first one is the Ravens Flock Mexico. Send a shout out to the Ravens Flock Mexico. Be More Purple Pain Gang. We Are the Ravens Flock, Ravens Purple Fusion, AFC Ravens Flock, Baltimore Ravens Elite Squad, Mississippi Ravens fans, and last but not least, the biggest and the best of all of our groups, the Ravens Flock, baby. So, we're going to go ahead and move into our podcast at this time. Our subject for this podcast will be the Baltimore Ravens are contenders. The Baltimore Ravens are contenders. Okay, there's a lot of questions still lingering out there. Is this a week by week thing? And I know that happens every year, especially at the beginning of the season. People always have doubts and want to see how much better the team can get. But if you notice something, the way this team is starting and the way this team is maintaining week in and week out, it's going to be really hard for teams to beat the Baltimore Ravens. Remember what I said. It's going to be very hard for teams to beat our Baltimore Ravens. Okay, so with that being said, all right, first we want to start off with 3 things the Ravens must build on. Okay, linebackers play. All right, we've been noticing our linebackers. You know, C.J. Mosley left. Okay, so that kind of left a void in our linebacking core. But in the first 2 games, our linebackers have held up well, both in coverage and in tackling and in tracking the ball and in see ball, go get ball. So our defense is playing lights out football. Now, I know last week against the Arizona Cardinals, they had a little lapse in coverage. That was a positioning and communication issue. You got to understand, we are still new into the season. Okay, so there's going to be some sloppy play from time to time on defense as well as offense. But the Ravens are trying to ensure that they minimize that lack in communications and breakdowns and schemes as much as possible moving forward. A strong wide receiver play. Hollywood Brown is everything he was made out to be. Okay, how could anyone doubt this talent? This is a elite talent, elite bloodline. Okay, as like with his cousin Antonio Brown, he has the same traits. This guy is going to be a great player in the National Football League. Please listen to what I'm telling you. Look out for it. Get ready for it. He's going to be hard to defend. People that try to defend him are going to have a hard time trying to stop Hollywood Brown with his speed and athleticism. Keep scoring and deceiving. Okay, last week against the Cardinals, we kind of noticed that we was having problem in the red zone. Okay, we was getting into the red zone, no problem, but we was having problem finishing our drives. Okay, that should improve as we go along. Okay, as the offense start clicking more, that should start improving. Okay, they just got to work their way through it. Basically, what the offense is doing. And look, we got to give Greg room. First of all, let's give all our coordinators a round of applause. I've never been more satisfied with a group of coordinators than I have been this year. This has got to be one of the best group of coordinators that the Ravens have ever had. Okay, especially on offense. Okay, when have you remembered in the most recent years for the Ravens to have an offense that is running the way this offense is running with Greg Roman? Okay, this offense is off the charts. Okay, it's going to be hard to stop. Okay, teams going to come in every week, they got a plan, and guess what? They're going to find out that that plan is not working. It's hard. It's hard to defend. This is a pick your poison offense. So everybody remember that. Our offense name for this year is pick your poison. We got the pick your poison offense. Okay, and it's probably going to be, if not be, the best offense in the National Football League ever. Okay, you hear me? Ever. All right. So we want our offense to keep scoring and keep deceiving, and they will get better as time goes on. Trust me. Okay. The most impressive Ravens thus far. Okay, at the top of that list, come on everybody. At the top of that list is Lamar Jackson. I'm going to be honest with you. I knew he was going to be a star. I knew he was going to be a great player, an elite player, but I did not expect him to come out the gates firing on all cylinders the way he have. I'm telling you, I've watched his tape. I found out about Lamar Jackson through my son, okay? And he's going to be on these podcasts from time to time with me, and I'll be conducting interviews with him. He told me, he called me one day right before the draft. He said, Dad, the Baltimore Ravens need to seriously consider Lamar Jackson. I said, but son, we got a quarterback, Joe Flacco. We don't need a quarterback. So I don't believe, and I don't see where they were going to get Lamar Jackson. So he said, you will realize this and recognize what I'm saying if you go look at his tapes. I went and looked at his tapes on YouTube, and I was blown out the water. I mean, showed my 70-year-old grandmother, and she said she couldn't believe it. She'd never seen a football player do that in her life. Only thing he do is score touchdowns. That's the only thing he did in college is score touchdowns. That's why right now today he gets mad when the offense doesn't convert and score touchdowns, because that's what he's used to doing. He can do that by himself. He can beat teams by himself and score a touchdown. And with all the talent he got around him, there's no reason why once we get in that red zone, we don't come away with no points. We should be coming away with at least 3 points every time our offense gets on the field. Now, there are going to be some games where we get shut down, okay? We're going to lose some games. We're going to get shut down some games. So that's going to be a reality that we got to be able to face, and the team got to be able to face and overcome as Ravens. Now, as fans, we got to understand there ain't going to be some games we're going to lose. Hopefully, we go undefeated, but the reality of that is pretty slim. So we know we're going to win some games. Hopefully, lose some games. Hopefully, we don't lose that many. We have more wins than we have losses. But like I said, there's no reason for this team to score 3 points, at least 3 points every time they reach the red zone. Okay? No reason why they shouldn't be able to do that. Another impressive player thus far in the season. It's only 2 games now. It's a small sample size for some of these players and some of these systems and schemes that we have. But hey, look, we've been through it all, right? We've seen our team start off great. We've seen our team start off shabby. Normally, we do pretty good in September. Okay, normally the Ravens do pretty good in September. All right, and then we kind of like buckle down and kind of like start scrubbing down a little bit during the second quarter. But the first quarter, the first month of the season, the Ravens normally do pretty good. One thing I loved about the Baltimore Ravens is that every Sunday or Monday or Thursday or whatever the case may be, We know that this team, that our coach, which in my eyes, and I know I've been real hard on John Harbaugh in the past when we was in during our losing seasons, I was real hard on John Harbaugh. But John Harbaugh, if he's got to be one of the top 5, if not the top 2 head coaches in the National Football League at this time. Come on, think about it. Every time that man team hits the field, they give you a game. They play hard. They give it all they got. I've never seen this team sell out. Look at the Miami Dolphins. The Ravens would never do that. Never do that. We ain't got nothing to worry about that. Okay, I don't care how sorry our team is or how many games we lose. We will not never tank the season for draft picks. That's the wrong answers. We pay them too much money. They make too much money. The fans, they have too many fans that love this team for them to go out there and tank this season for anything. Okay, everything always falls into place. You should never have to tank the season to get a draft pick. Okay, alrighty. Hollywood Brown, another one of my most impressive players with the Ravens this year in the first 2 games of this season. Hollywood Brown is off the chain. I seen his tapes in college, and I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. I'm like, if we get this guy here, okay, we have got an elite receiver. The Ravens has been so scared in the past with drafting receivers because most of the receivers we drafted were a bust, okay? But I think Eric DeCosta made a statement coming out the gates on his first draft pick and picking an elite player. That's how you do it. That's how we get to where we need to be. It's not all about where you drafting at, how low you are in the draft, or whatever the case may be. It's making sure you get the best player at that position that you are in the draft, and that's what Eric DeCosta did this year. He did it. He got the best player in the draft. Ozzie Newsome left this organization in a great situation, a great place. Let's look at defense. Oh, and we can't leave out Mark Andrews, folks. Mark Andrews, isn't he dynamic? If he's not the best tight end in the National Football League right now, I'm blind. Everybody's blind. If you cannot see what this guy does every week, week in, week out, the consistency he has, the audacity, the tenacity he has to get open and run over players and to try to get to the end zone. You don't see tight ends doing that anymore. That's old school smash mouth football to its best. And that's what the Ravens are doing, okay, with Mark Andrews. Congratulations, Mark Andrews. I'm so glad this guy's on our team. I'm so glad of him. He should have been a first-round draft pick. But, hey, he wasn't. We got Hayden Hurst. He's doing an all right job. Could be a possible trade bait scenario further down the road. Okay. All right. 2 things I like about the Ravens team so far after the 2 games of this season. Quick starting offense. I love it when the offense come on the field and they are moving the football at will, okay? Stuffing the football down the opponent's mouth. Smash mouth offensive, old school, college football, okay? And isn't that what it's all about? Football's about being smash mouth, okay? By extending your will on your opponent, making them give up, making them want to quit, making them don't want to be out there no more. That's what this team does, and that's the attitude that they have, and that's the attitude that John Harbaugh ensure that they have every time they put their feet on the field. Good defense with mad depth. Even though our cornerback situation has kind of got us in a situation to where we are kind of like hurting in that area as far as our depth concerned. But other than the cornerback position, we got great depth. Our line, we got enough defensive linemen to we probably could give the Miami Dolphins some defensive line help, and they probably be elite or be good at the defensive line position. So our depth is amazing. The way they rotate the players in the game is amazing, and that beats a lot of teams. A lot of teams don't do that, okay? A lot of teams don't have no quality depth. Quality depth is so important to have as a professional football team, okay? Especially with the speed of the game now. Players get tired. You ain't got nobody rotate them players out. You ain't gonna get nothing in the fourth quarter, okay? You're gonna get a player that's dragging. All right, so quick starting offense and our good defense and our mad depth that we have. Improvements. Okay, for the first 2 games, what I can see is penalties, especially along the offensive line. Okay, they got to get better, these rookies. Or these second-year players, these young players that's on that offensive line, need to get a little tougher, a little meaner, okay? I need a little more push out of that interior line. We need a little more push, especially when we start playing some of these top defenses. Did y'all see that outside linebacker for, I can't think of his name. My mind is going 100 places. That boy is a beast. Ronnie Stanley going to have his hands full with that young kid, okay? Myles Garrett, that's what I'm thinking about. I just literally see Myles Garrett just flew around Beecham. He's played for Pittsburgh Steelers, okay? He's related to my old quad director. He's related to her family out of Texas. He was throwing Beecham around like he was a napkin. So Ronnie Stanley, you better get tough and get ready for that guy. That guy's going to bring it. So penalties along the offensive line, we had to clean that up. Believe it or not, the defense is doing good as far as penalties is concerned. That's not a concern with them. But our offensive line has got to clean up those penalties and get a little more push on that offensive line. I got rushing offensive line, okay? Running the ball, our offensive line need to do a better job on the interior. On the interior, we have to do a better job with this type of offense that they're running, and I'm quite sure they're going to clean that up. It takes the offensive line time to mesh, time to gel, and they getting there. We can expect great things from that offensive line coming up for the remainder of the season. Okay, the Ravens are predicted to make a huge leap in 2019. That was a report I read in Bleacher Report, and that was before the season even started. Can you argue with that? I knew that was going to happen. I was just watching all the pundits and the naysayers just putting our team down, talking about Lamar Jackson wasn't no good, he was going to be a bust. I'm like, these people are crazy. Or they either don't know nothing about football or they're crazy. So it's just so humorous right now, funny to me, looking at all these analysts, pundits that talk about our team, that put our team down, see them trying to get on the bandwagon now. No, we don't need you now. Leave us alone, okay? Let us do what we do, okay? Win football games every week. So I really support that. They're definitely going to make a big leap this year, okay? They're going to be one of the top 5 teams in the AFC. I will definitely say that, okay? Alice Bentz with the Ravens report, okay? He said there are 3 things that the Ravens need to change to get to the Super Bowl. And I'm with him on that. And I agree with that, what he was talking about. He said injury bug. You remember those years when we had so many injuries, we didn't know what to do with them? Okay, we couldn't handle it. Especially the year we went 5-11. I think that's the year Flacco went out. I forgot the year, what was that, 15, 16, something like that? And we had so many injuries, we were depleted. We were almost worse than the Miami Dolphins, but guess what? We still came out and played football. So that's looking a little better. Knock on wood. The injury bug, we're going to knock on wood about that one. First round receiver bust. I think Eric DeCosta, I think he fixed that issue. Okay, that issue has been fixed with Hollywood Brown and Miles Boykin. That Miles Boykin's something serious too. I can see him turning up later on in the season. Lackluster offensive coordinators. How many sorry offensive coordinators have we had? I was so glad when they got Marty Mornhinweg out of there, because I just can't remember a year when he ever had a good offense, even when he was with the Eagles. I never knew that man had a good offense. Maybe I could be wrong. You know what I mean? Maybe our type of football is just different from what he's used to. I don't know, but his offenses, every year they was just horrific. Okay? So those are some of the things that I think if these things go in the Ravens' favor, I don't see why the Ravens can't reach Super Bowl. I don't see why the Ravens cannot reach the Super Bowl. What we think about the pass rush, folks? I think we can get a little better on the pass rush. Okay, they got some players out there that the Ravens might want to take a look at. Taco Charlton with Dallas, defensive end. Solomon Thomas with the San Francisco 49ers. This kid, Solomon Thomas, looked real good in college. And I think he could, with the right team, I think he could be real nice. Okay? They even got A.J. Green down here, but they ain't got nothing to do with that. So we're talking about the outside linebackers, defensive end. So those are two options for the Ravens right there to have a little more depth in there, so we can get a little more pressure, especially when we start playing these high-powered offenses, which we got one coming up with the Kansas City Chiefs this Sunday. What else? Let's talk about the game coming up this Sunday. Bucky Brooks and Move the Sticks podcast are predicting the Ravens to win the game Sunday. I'm with them. I think the Ravens can win this game. If there's any team out there that can beat the Chiefs and the Patriots, I think it's the Baltimore Ravens. They always have been a team that can go to any stadium, and John Harbaugh said they can go to any stadium. They used to it. It doesn't bother them. They love it. They love it when they go on the road to these big stadiums, these nice stadiums, and these fans just going out, all the noise. Because guess what? It reminds them of what? The Baltimore Ravens, M&T Bank Stadium. That's what it reminds them of. So they feel right at home when they are away. So I'm with Bucky Brooks. I think they're going to beat the Chiefs this Sunday. Daniel Jeremiah said that the Ravens are built to beat the Chiefs, and he's definitely right. He also said that Tyreek Hill's absence will be the difference maker. I believe so. Okay, I believe we will make them one-dimensional, and I believe we will play keep away football. We will try to keep the offense on the field, keep the defense rested, and keep their offense off the field. Okay, should the Ravens make a trade for Jalen Ramsey? That's the big subject that's been on Facebook, in my groups, on YouTube, everywhere across social media, and on TV. Should we trade for Jalen Ramsey? If we even ask that question, guess what? We already know the answer, right? We'll be a fool not to try to get that guy by all means. Whatever it takes, get him. Okay, and we'll suffer later if that's the case. You know what I mean? But that's one of those things where you go ahead and get what you want. It's like buying a new car. We got to go get that car, even though we might not be able to afford it. We're gonna ride good for this year, huh? You hear me? So, Eric DeCosta, if you're out there, go get Jalen Ramsey. Go get him now. I don't care what he wants. Give it to him, and let's take this team to the Super Bowl where we belong. It's time for a third Super Bowl. Alrighty. So the word on the street, you got Judon and Hollywood Brown trying to recruit Jalen Ramsey. So that's good. I know Tony Jefferson, he's real good at doing that, and I know he's going to get on the bandwagon with these guys to see if we can get Jalen Ramsey to come to the house, to come to the flock, okay, to join us. We really need him. What y'all think? Anybody that think we don't need Jalen Ramsey has got some issues, and I know how it is. A lot of people, they get wrapped around, emotionally wrapped around football, and a lot of other things come into play. Okay, oh well, he's a loudmouth. He's this, he's that. He's a football player that like to win. Okay, anytime there's a football player that like to win, you better go get him. Oh, I just seen an ad. They said Fernell McPhee just being a dog. Ain't McPhee playing good? He's right back at home, man. He's like the prodigal son. He's like the long lost son of the Ravens. He came back and he's kicking some butt this year. I tell you that much. Okay, so we got we already talked about Charlton and Thomas. You also got A.J. Green out there. That might be something to talk about. Maybe we can get him, but I doubt if Cincinnati would trade him to us and see him 2 times a year. What about Artie Burns, the cornerback for Pittsburgh? He's not a number 1 cornerback, but guess what? He probably can play pretty good back there in our backfield, our defensive backfield. So that might be a nice trade that we can work out also. So those are just some subjects I want to talk about with everybody. Hey, I look forward to doing more podcasts at this level. Okay, I will try to put these podcasts every week during the season and every week during the off season if possible. I hope you like this podcast. Like I say, please feel free to leave your comments, suggestions or whatever in my inbox. You can email me. You can send me a voicemail. I mean, not email me, but you can leave a comment on the podcast. You can leave a voicemail on the podcast, and I'll get with you. Or you can see me if you're on one of my groups on Facebook. Leave me a message in one of my groups, and I'll get back with you. I'm also going to be looking for people to be on this show with me. Periodically, some of the fans out of the groups, or some of the fans out of, just go to the games from Baltimore, wherever, to join me for these podcasts, so we can sit down and chit chat a little bit. Hey, I'm open-minded. Everybody got a right to their opinion. I do ask everybody to respect everybody's opinion. Everybody got the right to voice their opinion about their team, okay? I feel different about the Ravens than some other fans might feel, okay? But I'm not going to bash them because they feel that way, or because that's what they said, or they don't believe that what I said was right. We all got a choice. So let's don't put each other down. Let's don't curse each other out. Let's respect each other. Let's keep it football. Let's love each other. Let's love our team and think positive for our team. If we think positive for our team, guess what? They'll think positive, and they'll go out there and prove them haters wrong. That's the mission for this year, prove the haters wrong. And I think we're going to do that. I love our teams. We're going to win this game Sunday, okay? We're going to go on there, we're going to put it to them like we did last year. We should have won the game in Kansas City last year. We will win that game this year because we got better coordinators. We got better coaching. We got elite players. We got a franchise quarterback who's playing out of this world, and we can look forward to celebrating come Sunday evening, all right? Oh, one more thing before I go. Who all out there believe that the Ravens game should have been flexed in the Sunday night? Come on now, think about it. Look at that game from last year. Why did the NFL think that game wouldn't be a big game this year? No, but they bid on the hype with the Browns, okay? And now we've seen what the Browns have done, okay? So this game should have been flexed. It should have even been flexed. It should have been put at Sunday Night Football from last year, just because of the output of the entertainment, what we've seen, the stardom that was in that game, and we're gonna see that again come Sunday. And okay, so I hope everybody gonna pray for our team, back our team. Okay, go Ravens! I love you. All right, let's go up to Kansas City and whoop some butt. All right, this is Be More Buck Edits, and I'm out. Thanks for joining me. I look forward to talking with you next week. Take care of yourself. Be safe out there. And Godspeed. Love you. Big Buck out. Peace.